Hi, I'm Tim Kidd. A little bit about how I got started. I've been thinking about doing comedy since I was 5 years old, and I didn't think about it for me. I just thought that's the greatest job in the world. And it wasn't until I was in a band singing, touring around, that I started realizing that I had more fun in between songs talking to the crowd and making them laugh than I did performing with the band. So I switched over and never looked back. It's been my life ever since. Now it's been 11 years. Stand-up comedy and touring 37 states and looking to do all 50 of them. Looking for my style. When I was open micing like everybody, you tried different things out. And I would try to be things and think of things and characters I could be. And I could get laughs, but it just wasn't working. I couldn't get in the flow. It wasn't until one night that I went on stage and all my friends were there and I stopped trying. I just tried to be myself to make them laugh. And once I seen how, like, okay, when I just do how I am at like a party over the top a little bit, that's what works. So it's be yourself, find your niche, but my niche was being yourself turned up a notch, you know? There's one time I was on the road and I just left my last gig and for an hour I was driving and I wasn't getting on the highway following my GPS. And I kept like, what's going on? I mean, the highway's right there, but I'm not getting on it. So I keep on driving, and eventually I have to pull off and I'm going through my GPS to make sure everything's right. And the last comic at my last gig had put avoid highways. So I was taking twice as long to get to my gig. And once I got to town, now I'm hitting when traffic. I'm finally getting on the highway when I should, but I'm hitting traffic. I ended up flipping through the stations, and a radio station for the town I was in was having a contest, useless trivia. They said, we'll take the next 3 callers. They rattled off the number. I was ready with my phone. I called in. I was one of the contestants. They bounced around between phone calls, asked 3 questions. The first person to get 3 questions right wins. I got all 3 of mine right in a row right. I won. They said, let's go to the phone and see who won. I go, hey, this is Tim. They go, Tim, all right. Let us tell you what you won. You got 10 tickets to the New York Comedy Club in Boca Raton. And I was like, you're kidding me. You got the comic's name? And they were like, yeah, it's Tim Kidd. And I was like, yeah, this is Tim Kidd, man. Give the tickets away. All my friends asked me, what'd you do with the tickets? I'm like, I went. I thought I sucked. No, everybody, they called in. They had the next 10 callers call in. They won them. All night people were coming up to me going, I'm here because of you on the radio. I'm like, right on. So that was cool. I won tickets to my own show. I have a couple of moments that really stand out to me. One of them was just that, my first standing ovation that kind of started getting me more work. That the first time you get a standing ovation, it really means a lot. But on top of that, the headliner that night was a very close friend of mine, and he walked right up on stage during the standing ovation and gave me a hug. It was like, I'm proud of you, man, and that just meant a lot. The next time I was doing a show with Robert Klein, and I'd been thinking about doing stand-up comedy since I was 5 years old because of my grandfather, who watched like Johnny Carson and all this stand-up, and Robert Klein was one of them. So when I worked with Robert Klein, it made me feel like, wow, you know, it's come full circle. That's who first was inspiring me, and now I'm sharing the stage with him.